review comes after lesson 95. Please pause the video and try the problems on your own before you watch the video. This first problem comes from lesson 62. Solve the equation. Right away I see that it is a quadratic. A quadratic equation, we have three ways to solve it. We can factor it, we can solve it using the quadratic formula, or we can graph it. This one is easiest using the quadratic formula. So I would have my negative 10, here's my A, here's my B, here's my C. Negative 10 plus or minus 10 squared would be 100, minus negative 4 times 1 times 30 would be negative 120, all over 2 times 1, which is 2. I can simplify this equation to be negative 10 plus or minus square root of negative 20 over 2. This would be negative 10 over 2 plus or minus, I can pull out my I, so I'd have negative 5 plus or minus square root of 20 splits up into be the square root of 4, square root of 5. Square root of 5 is 2, so this would be 2i square root of 5 all over 2, and then my final answer would be negative 5 plus or minus I square root of 5, because my 2's would cancel out. This next problem comes from lesson 88, and it says to solve for b sub 1. So I want to get that by itself. I don't necessarily have to sit there and think, how do I do it? It's what can I do? Well, first thing I could do, I could multiply this through. So I'd have 1/2 b sub I plus 1/2 b sub 2 all times h. Now I can multiply my h through, so I'd have 1/2 b sub I h plus 1/2 b sub 2 h equals a. Now from here I can subtract, so I'd have a minus 1/2 b sub 2 h equals 1/2 b sub 1 h. Now to get my b sub 1 all by itself, I'm going to divide by 1/2 h. That would have my half and my h's canceling out. So to finish this, I'd have my b sub 1 equals a, and we can leave it this form, minus 1/2 b sub 2 h all over 1/2 h. It's not the prettiest form, but we will accept that. The next problem comes from lesson 57. A savings account earns an interest rate of 5% compounded continuously. The continuously is the key part. This tells me I have to use the PERT. Principal E rate times time. Starts with the value 5,000. That's my principal. The E value, the rate is 5%, so I put 0.05, and the time is 6 years. Now, if you plug this into your calculator, I would do E raised to this, put it in parentheses first, and then take that answer times 5,000, and then that would be your answer. We would end up with an answer of $6,749.29. The next problem, to find A, oh, and this should have a 23 degrees here. Must have erased that. To find A, it's not a right triangle, so we cannot use SOHCAHTOA. We cannot use Pythagorean theorem. So I always draw the law of sine first. So if I go the sine of 119 over 15 equals the sine of 23 over A. This one works out because we have one variable A. Here I can cross multiply. So I'd have A sine of 119 equals 15 sine of 23. I would, from here, divide by sine of 119. Cancels, so A would approximately be, after you punch this in, 6.7.